Redskins.com on the NFL Honors red carpet here with Hall of Famer Darrell Green. Darrell, I was just mentioning you, this week probably brings back some memories. Super Bowl, Minnesota. What kind of spurred your mind right now?
Well, the obvious was the weather. That kind of caught everybody, but the jump quickly ahead to the actual game, very special game for us. I remember my kids, my son being on my shoulders after the game, but we were able to, I guess from a standpoint of we were sort of the underdogs, I guess in a lot of people's mind, but we were able to really come out and really execute well. And it was a very strong and handily, played game on our behalf. And so it was a special time for us. As a matter of fact, that's the last Super Bowl we've gone to. So if that's the ring, and help me get that ring. So no, it was a special time, and we enjoyed the city. I said the cold thing. I don't mean that in a negative way. It was a fun time here. My family was here, and you never thought that would be, that we'd have a drought. But hopefully, we'll get back to this, because the Redskins are winners. We are a winning tradition team, and I'm glad to have been a part of that one. But hopefully we can do it again as well.
Yeah. Just quickly on that Super Bowl, we have spoken with a lot of different players from that team, Brian Mitchell and Mark Ripp, and they talked a lot about how Joe Gibbs really pushed you hard during that week. Do you remember some of those practices?
Yeah, and interestingly enough, as quiet as it's kept, all of the Super Bowl practices that I was in, they were always weirdly hard, really aggressive. Matter of fact, where the coach had to back you up and say, hey, you guys are going to kill each other. So I don't know, it was such an adrenaline, I guess, and an energy. We were always underdogs, though, too. So I don't know if it was some kind of a energy that we had, and a little bit of a mad on that we always had. But when we got in the game, we were always poised and able to execute with composure. And we were always playing against top teams, whether it was Buffalo or Denver. Obviously, they played Miami the year before I got there, and then we lost against the Raiders my first year. But it was always very highly touted teams. Denver had been in several Super Bowls. That's interesting I'm saying that. Denver had been in several. Elway, then you got Kelly. So we were, we wasn't that famous. We were just a bunch of blue-collar guys. But we took it very seriously. We were probably more excited and appreciative of being there. Maybe they wasn't. Maybe, I'm saying that speculation. But yeah, we were always very sober, and we executed really well. I thought that was a big thing, that we really were executing team. We were well prepared, we were well trained, and we came in and we had a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, thinking that, hey, they don't think we can win this game. And I remember when Thurman lost his helmet before the game, before the first kickoff, and I remember them talking about them having arguments about who gets the biggest podium to do the interviews in, and I know all these guys, but it's still true. But we were sort of, again, the blue-collar guys, the Joe Gibbs-ish kind of guys, and you know what, I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that.
Well, you've got potential 2 Hall of Famers on this Redskins team tonight. Obviously, Bobby Beathard. Let's start with him. I'm curious, what do you remember most about him and when you first joined the Redskins?
I remember before I joined the Redskins when he said, if you're there, we're going to take you. They had the last pick in the first round. They had won the Super Bowl the previous year. And, I was always told, don't believe these guys. But when they got to 27, took Dan Marino at Miami, I was like, okay, I believe him. I hope he does it. And certainly it happened. So I remember him having the confidence in a 173-pound, 5'8 3/4 guy from a Division II school. And so I had great respect for him, and I anticipate he's going to be in this Hall of Fame here in just a minute. You're going to hear that. Also, just in terms of, him in his history, in terms of where he come from in Miami and different cities he was a part of, he's done nothing but win. And I think the greatest thing he ever did was drafted me. No, but he's great, and he deserved to be here. I would have been it's almost surprising that he's not in the Hall of Fame prior to now. But I anticipate he would be in it. And obviously, I guess you would jump over to Joe. I'd be very surprised if Joe is not in this Hall of Fame.
Why do you think it takes so long? It's taken so long for him, especially just being an offensive lineman. How hard is it for people to really understand the quality of play that he had for so long?
I think, first of all, I think that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the greatest Hall of Fame in terms of the integrity of the process, in terms of the painstaking process, the sobriety around, the importance around it that's carried around this whole idea of who gets picked. It's not a light thing. But I think that said, there are some systemic problems that can happen. For example, in my opinion, T.O. should have been in, but now you sort of back up you back up the roadblock. You kind of back the traffic up. You go, whoa, T.O. And so sometimes you can get a traffic backup because only so many can go in. And so sometimes the traffic get backed and back. Next thing you know, you're not getting to your exit. So in my opinion, this is Joe's last time, and it's going to be a shame if Joe gets pushed to the senior group when, in my opinion, regardless of how the traffic got legitimately backed up, because at this time, this guy, he has to be a first round. He has to be a first rounder. And sometimes that's happening. But, man, it would be tragic to see Joe not get in his final year of his eligibility, in the normal eligibility. So he's a Hall of Famer. He started in all 4 Super Bowls. He had a great career. He was, I think a late round draft pick, and, nobody expected anything out of him. But that guy pulled. He was an incredible athlete, one of the first 300-pounders, just a mammoth of a man. And Russ Grimm and him lined up next to each other. And I think on that side, they both deserve to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.